Namaste, I am Jyoti Verma, TGT Geography from Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, Delhi Kendra. Dear children, India is a land of diversity in all manners. From culture, economy, and even the landscape of India has diverse elements all on one landmass. The wide range of physical features of India makes the country a complete geographical study. In fact, India has every possible landscape that the earth has, from cold mountains to arid desert, vast plains, hot and humid plateau, and wide seashores and tropical islands. The physical features of India covers every terrain. Dear children, I'll be telling you a unique story of Indian landscape origin. Millions of years ago, the Peninsular Plateau region, which is the oldest landmass of India, was a part of the Gondwana land which covered India, Australia, South Africa, and South America. Over hundreds of years of shifting landmass and ocean currents broke this landmass into multiple pieces. One such piece, the Indo-Australian plate, started shifting northward where it collided with the Eurasian plate. Consequently, this collision caused the landmass to fold and become what we know as the Himalayas today. These after many such geological events led to the formation of each of the varied physical features of India. The physical features of India can be divided into six broad categories according to their physiographic forms. First, Himalayan mountains. The northernmost landscape of the country highlights the fold mountains of the Himalayas. Though geologically young, the Himalayan mountains are the loftiest and the most rugged of the world. The Himalayas, stretching for some 2900 kilometers between India, Pakistan, China, and Nepal, is the world's tallest mountain range. In addition to Mount Everest, the world's tallest mountain by peak elevation, standing at 8,848 meters tall, the range also features several other mountain peaks over 8,000 meters. Himalayan mountains stretch across 2500 kilometers from Kashmir in the north through Arunachal Pradesh in the northeast. These mountains form an arc. This helps keep the cold Arctic winds from reaching the tropical landmass. One of the most significant of all the physical features of India, the Himalayas vary in width between 400 kilometers to 150 kilometers. Furthermore, the entire mountain belt is divided into three main sections. The northernmost range is known as the Great or Inner Himalayas or the Himadri. It is the most continuous range consisting of the loftiest peaks with an average height of 6,000 meters. The folds of the Great Himalayas are asymmetrical in nature. The core of this part of Himalaya is composed of granite. The second range, lying to the south of the Himadri, forms the most rugged mountain system and is known as the Himachal or Lesser Himalaya, with average peaks rising to 4,000 meters. Pir Paranjal range forms the longest and the most important range. The outermost range of the Himalaya is called the Shivaliks. These ranges are composed of unconsolidated sediments. The longitudinal valley lying between Lesser Himalaya and the Shivaliks are known as dunes. Dehradun, Kotli Dune and Patli Dunes are some of the well-known dunes. The Himalayas have also been divided on the basis of regions from west to east. The part of the Himalayas lying between Indus and Satluj has been traditionally known as Punjab Himalaya, but it is also known regionally as Kashmir and Himachal Himalaya from west to east respectively. The part of the Himalayas lying between Satluj and Kali River is known as Kumaon Himalayas. The Kali and Tista rivers divide the Nepal Himalayas, and the part lying between Tista and the Yang River is known as Assam Himalayas. The Brahmaputra marks the easternmost boundary of the Himalayas. Beyond the Diang Gorge, the Himalayas bend sharply to the south and spread along the eastern boundary of India, which is known as the Purvachal or the Eastern Hill and Mountains. The Purvachal comprises the Patkai Hills, the Naga Hills, the Manipur Hills and the Mizo Hills. The three major river systems of India, Indus, Ganga and the Brahmaputra along with their tributaries have fed the foothills of the Himalayas. Since these river basins had huge amount of alluvial deposits from these glacial rivers, these regions grew fertile over hundreds of years and led to the formation of the northern plains. The northern plains spread over an area of 7 lakh square kilometer. The northern plain is broadly divided into three sections. The western part of the northern plain is referred to as the Punjab plain. This plain is formed by the Indus and its tributaries, the Jhelum, the Chenab, the Ravi, the Beas and the Satluj. The Ganga plain extends between Ghaggar and Tista river. It spread over the states of North India, Haryana, Delhi, UP, Bihar, partly Jharkhand and West Bengal. Brahmaputra plain lies in the state of Assam. According to the variations in elevation points, the northern plains can be divided into four regions. The rivers, after descending from the mountains, deposit pebbles in a narrow belt of about 8 to 16 kilometers in width, lying parallel to the slopes of the Shivalik, which is known as Bhabar. All the streams disappear in this Bhabar belt. The streams and rivers re-emerge and create a wet, swampy and marshy region known as Tarai. The largest part of the northern plain is formed of older alluvium. It lies above the floodplains of the river and presents a terrace-like feature which is known as bhangar. The soils in the bhangar region contain calcareous deposit and is known as kankar. The newer, younger deposit of the floodplains are called khadar. Now the third physiographic division of India is the Peninsular Plateau. The Peninsular Plateau is a tableland composed of the old crystalline, igneous and metamorphic rocks. It was formed due to the breaking and drifting of the Gondwana land. One of the distinct features of the Peninsular Plateau is the black soil area known as the Deccan Trap. This is of volcanic origin, hence the rocks are igneous. This plateau consists of two divisions, the Central Highlands. The part of the Peninsular Plateau lying to the north of the Narmada River, covering a major area of the Balwa Plateau, is known as Central Highlands. The eastward extension of this plateau are locally known as the Bundelkhand and Baghelkhand, the Deccan Plateau. It is a triangular landmass that lies to the south of the river Narmada. An extension of this plateau is also visible in the northeast, which is known as the Meghalaya, Karbi Anglon Plateau and North Chachar Hills. The western Ghats and the eastern Ghats marks the western and the eastern edge of the Deccan Plateau respectively. Western Ghat lies parallel to the western coast. They are continuous and can be crossed through passes only. They are higher than the eastern Ghats. Their overall elevation is 900 to 1600 meters. Anaimudi is the highest peak in the eastern Ghats. The eastern Ghats stretch over the Mahanadi Valley to the Nilgiris in the south. They are discontinuous and irregular. They can be dissected by rivers draining into the Bay of Bengal. Their average elevation is 600 meters. Mahendragiri is the highest peak in the eastern Ghats. Next physiographic division is Indian Desert. It lies towards the western margin of the Aravalli Hills. It is sandy plains covered with sand dunes. This region receives very low rainfall below 150 mm per year. It has a dry climate with low vegetation cover. Now the coastal plain. A coastal plain is a flat-lying piece of land next to the ocean. To the east and west of the Peninsular Plateau, two narrow strips of plain lands are found which are called Eastern Coastal Plain and Western Coastal Plain. Eastern Coastal Plain is a wide stretch of the landmass lying between the Eastern Ghats and the Bay of Bengal. In the northern part it is referred to as the Northern Sircar, while the southern part is known as the Coromandel Coast. Large rivers such as the Mahanadi, the Godavari, the Krishna and the Kaveri have formed extensive delta on this coast. Lake Chilika is an important feature along the eastern coast. Western Coastal Plain. This plain is sandwiched between the Western Ghats and the Arabian Sea. It is a narrow plain and consists of three sections. The northern part of the coast is called the Konkan Plain. The central stretch is called the Kannur Plain. The southern stretch is referred to as the Malabar Coast. Last division is the island. An island is a piece of subcontinent land that is surrounded by water. Lakshadweep Island group is composed of small coral islands. The entire group of islands is divided into two broad categories, the Andaman in the north and the Nicobar in the south. It is believed that these islands are in elevated portions of submarine mountains. These islands lie close to equator and experience equatorial climate and has thick forest cover. So my dear children, I hope it is clear to you that each region complements the other and makes the country richer in its natural resources. Thank you.